Alright. How the hell did a player who is nowhere near pro level make a really stupid build that ended up getting used by world champions? Well, it all starts over here. Florencio Files, episode number 1 from 4 years ago, April 8th, 2018. And this is where, of course, the early days of me discovering about the Recall Rush after it happening to me on ladder, and then my friend saying he has a lot more funny builds, you got to check them out, and of course encouraging him to send me some replays. We started casting the Florencio Files, a guy who was playing in Masters at the time as a Protoss player, and he had some of the most creative and ridiculous builds ever, but this one really took the cake. It's what made me discover him. And it is a build that went so far beyond what we found out here in the first episode. Let's go take a trip down memory lane and have a quick listen.
It's like 8 seconds until he can build cannons. I don't know if he's going to get cannons up in range of that. Base Habit still hasn't seen it. That Overlord not quite properly positioned there. The Zergling's coming for the run, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything. He's got the Nexus finished. He's going to do a recall. He grabs every single probe and the Zealots. They're going to recall into the main base. Here we go. It's on. Base Habit's like, what the fuck is happening? There's probes and Zealots in my base. The Queen immediately gets surrounded. Down here, we've got 2 cannons going down as well. So that third base is going to get cannon rushed at the same time with the last little bit of minerals that Florencio has. Florencio's like, get over here, dickheads. The drones are like, we're pacifists. We don't want to fight. They're all getting trapped. They're not mineral walking. They're starting to die. So many of them going down. He has no idea what to do. He's cancelled his melee upgrade. He's got his link speed finished now, but he's only got a few Zerglings. Base Habit's in full.
Of course, in classic Florencio fashion, this turned into a base trade. The Zerg went across the map to counterattack and clear out his base and rebuild a hatchery there. So Florencio started long-distance mining the Zerg's main base. And follows up with the Zerglings being unable to get past his Zealot wall. So the Zerg gets super creative. So the Zerg comes in here with a counter drop with the Zerglings. But the thing is, this almost serves as a distraction because Florencio's next step of the plan, you can already see, is coming into fruition on that production tab. So Florencio here now follows up. He cleans up the Zerglings, but he doesn't build an economy. He then recalls. So he's recalled into the enemy's base, mined resources, built a Nexus back on what was originally his side of the map, and then recalls back to his side of the map to launch a surprise offensive, giving no time for the Spine Crawler or the Roach Road to get up. And is able to seal the deal with this absolutely clownish and ridiculous play. I mean, this is so goddamn funny, but it's one of those things, you look at this and you go, okay, this is hilarious, and I can see this working versus a few Masters players, maybe some Diamond players for sure. Yeah, if you throw them off enough early on. But, I mean, this is never going to work versus Grandmasters or Pro players. This is so silly. Alright, so that was my awakening to Recall Rushes and Florencio. And just a little while later, it was in October of 2018 when I got up to episode number 28. I started casting his games. I was amazed by a lot of the stupidity I saw. But this game here, game-breaking recall exploit, this is probably in my mind the greatest episode of the Florencio Files. It just purely because he did something that I did not even comprehend what happened as it happened. We're here on Fracture, a map from far long time ago.
Walks around and sings and talks to...
And I'm just, as always, just rambling about crazy stuff, whatever. And he builds a Nexus outside the base. And this was back when the Nexus recall radius was huge. What I did not realize at the time, I had no idea what was happening. Because I was like, what are you hoping to do here?
Need a recall, I think. Yeah, okay. He's got 4 Zealots out of 5th away. He's going to go Cybercore. I think that's the right play here. We've got a factory on the way for Heavy Fresh, as well as a bunker and some Marines on the way. Are we gonna...
I'm sure he's going to recall outside the base and try to break the wall. And I thought what he was going to do, I thought he was going to try and kill that pylon.
See a factory.
So you guys see he's got a pylon here. I figured, okay, well, they can't repair a pylon. So by building the pylon, he's going to attack this with Zealots and break in and try to win that way. I had no idea what was about to happen, and I was so goddamn confused. I think my reaction might even be a bit understated, because I literally can't compute what he pulls off here.
On the way for Heavy Fresh, as well as a bunker and some Marines on the way. Are we going to see a juicy recall? I don't think you want to bring probes with this one, Florencio. Don't bring the probes. Don't bring the probes. Don't bring the probes. Are we going to see it? Are we going to see the recall? I don't know. Maybe. No. Where'd it go? No, they're just... What are you... No, you're going to accidentally recall your gas probe. What are you... Oh my god, what is Florencio doing? This is some high-level micro... Oh my god, way too much devil's lettuce for Florencio today. What are the probes even... You can recall on the high ground? Oh, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck just... You fucking bullshit hacker, Florencio. Oh my god. What? I didn't even know you could... What the fuck? He just recalled inside his main base by positioning his units on the correct angle so they would recall into the main base of heavy... What the fuck? Oh my god, I've just had my mind blown. I had no idea you could do that. The Cyclone's not going to get out. Oh, he realizes that's the most important thing building right now. He's not going to give it time. Oh man, that factory is burning. Heavy Fresh is in trouble. Florencio, you filthy sewer mermaid, Mr. Hanky steaming piece of shit. I love you and hate you at the same time. Oh, you glorious game-breaking mother trucker. These units fighting in the mineral line. The Zealots are taking down a lot of those SCVs. They're all going down. The bunker's going to finish. One Marine gets in the bunker. He's going to start killing those probes. One probe.
So what's funny here is I kind of said, oh, he positioned the recall. Like, I tried to kind of come up with an explanation on the fly of what happened. And what I didn't actually realize until it was explained to me later, because I spent the end of this replay, and I was doing this live on stream back then, is when I did all my flow files live on stream back in the day. And I believe like someone in the audience, or maybe Florencio showed up himself and explained to me that back in then the radius was really big. And the way the radius on that worked was it kind of corresponded to how the recall worked. Let me go in game and explain this. All right, guys, so let me show you guys how this one works, all right? All right. So basically, strategic recall, this radius here used to be much bigger, like about this big or something like that. But it still works in the same fundamental way. So, let me just show you guys. So, if we want all of the units to recall to the top left of the Nexus, we can do that. And the way we do that is, remember, you see this little center point of my thing? That represents the Nexus. So if I go here, these probes should all appear up and to the left of the Nexus, the ones that recall. The problem is, because it's so small, you can't get much distance. But on the old one, the way he stacked all of his probes and zealots in a close spot, and he put it on the very far top left, and on this map, you also have the specific architecture where you can build a Nexus right next to the cliff, which normally you can't do because there's almost always a third base, minerals and gas, blocking you from building below the ledge. But on this map, there's this bit sticking out, so you could build a Nexus there and position it with that big recall to recall an entire army onto this high ground. And this is just, who the hell would have thought to do this? Only someone who's got their mind in the sewer, thinking of the dirtiest stuff they can pull off. So what's hilarious is this is a 4-minute game that I spent another 4 minutes trying to figure out what happened, having chat explain it to me, rewinding over and over again, and we finally figured that out. I think I even went in game and tried to test it. Oh, I do. The end of this game, we do actually test it. Oh, check this out. So we're going to show a stream. Right. Guys, get on it. Look, he's wearing a literal... So there was a clip off Florencio's stream of him explaining that, look, this is the old recall, and here's the Nexus in the center. So these probes will all Nexus as a hat. He made it exactly the same pattern. Oh, I had no idea. So we actually got linked a clip from Flo's stream and explained how it worked. But super cool that he actually realized how that worked. A lot of people didn't realize that's how the recall worked, but Florencio always looking for those details, man. Now, obviously, this seems like a build that's fun. Oh, you get some silly village, get the odd Masters player. You even beat a GM Pig who was surprised. Oh, it's a fun build. But surely this would never ever work at pro play, right? It's just one of those things where there's no way at all this could ever work at pro level. Or could it? All hail SOS. That's right, SOS. Verse Bunny, GSL Code S 2020. And this man pulled off one of the most disgusting builds ever. Now, after this game aired, I wasn't watching live, but my Twitter feed exploded. I was like, why are so many people tweeting at me? What's going on? And do you know what? Everyone said, guys, they're like, Pig, SOS, watch the Florencio files. Watch GSL. Did you see? He's been watching the flow files. And I was like, what are you guys all talking about? I immediately opened up the GSL VOD and I saw this. The great thing as well is I love how Tastosis are like telling the backstory of SOS just as it gets to this point.
A play with Protoss that we've ever seen. Is that correct? I think it is.
Yeah.
He basically has done every kind of strat conceivable.
Yeah, and some actually that were inconceivable.
Okay, well that went directly into... Dude, I can't even believe this. You know, that
He literally just made a
I
Nexus
can't even believe it.
in his base, and now he's making a pylon.
This is amazing. So they literally are so stunned because they can't even compute what's happening. And what's so great is check out this probe maneuver on the far top left. He lures the SCVs out of the mineral line so that he can build a pylon in the mineral line. Anything to screw with his opponent and just try to be as annoying as possible here. Now, the thing is, this is a pro-level Terran. There is no way this is going to work versus Bunny. Bunny's not going to die to this, guys. There's just no way. So this is why it's so ridiculous. He tries to run the probe away, loses it over there on the right side. He's going to build a bunker. And the thing is, this is not the Zealot version. He's got a Cybercore, he's got a Nexus, he's moving to the next step, right? But just, this is the most mind-blowing strategy, because in theory, this should not work. But the Zealot comes across, kills the SCV building the command center. So he's getting damage, and he takes a Nexus behind it, so it's not an all-in. And you start to see the real ornate details that work for SOS here. This is a distraction, but it's not just a, oh, I'm going to get you to overreact. He has such a clever follow-up to this that I cannot believe worked. And he must have practiced it and made it work a bunch of times in practice to have thought about this. So look at this. He recalls 2 Adepts inside the base. He doesn't know about the recall positioning, so he recalls those Adepts a bit sloppily and they take extra bunker damage. And he's trying to distract here and just get SCV kills. And I remember watching this and thinking, well, this isn't working. It's cool he tried the recall rush, but he's going to end up behind after this. Bunny will get down there now with the Marines and the Cyclone, finish his command center, and probably be ahead. But there's a DT shrine, and watch this in the main. He's building a Nexus inside the base and rallying it to the right side. The Zealot distracts, the probe pops out, it's in vision for a fraction of a second, and it hides on the side of the main, because here on Simulacrum you have a very big main base, and this is all a setup to hide the probe. This is all a setup to hide that one probe. And that should not work at pro level. The number of things that need to go right for this to work, and yet SOS has somehow found a way to get this working enough in practice. He was confident bringing it to the global StarCraft League. And Bunny kills the Nexus. He has no idea about the probe. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Tastosis are losing their minds in the background. They're going, it's crazy, it's crazy. What the hell is going on? And this is just madness, man. So he's probed up to a slight lead in the economy, but not much. The double orbital puts him in trouble. But that DT shrine being inside the base warps 2 DTs inside the main at 446. And that is beautiful. I just cannot believe. I mean, Bunny, when he looked at this replay, because I guarantee you he did not comprehend how those... He must have thought it was a DT drop. He must have thought, oh, how did he get a DT drop up so fast after that opening? Wow, SOS is truly capable of doing that. And look at that, the DTs both get out of scan range without dying. Which is terrible. And he doesn't raise the depot, which means the DT gets on the natural, so he's going to lose all of his mining. The SCVs are just running back and forth, and it is game over because of the layers of distraction. The pylon in the mineral line, the Nexus, the Zealot, the 2 Adepts recalling in, all set up to give the illusion of, oh, you've blocked it, it's done, it was just a silly distraction, and one sneaky probe hides in the corner and sets up for the finish. This is such a crazy gamble to take, but of course, SOS was the one to take it to pro level and bring those sewer strategies to the global StarCraft League. Alright guys, we do need to very quickly just do a study here. This is what it feels like to have your soul taken by a low-effort sewer mermaid cheeser. Let's just... You're playing a very important tournament. There's lots of money in your career on the line. Let's just process those emotions for a second. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. Now, SOS pulled off... That was the greatest version of this ever. It was amazing. But it didn't end there. We have to now go over to 2021. I am Katowice. This was the online Katowice tournament. But it was a massive, massive thing. Now, Trap came in as the #1 Protoss in the world. Hero was still in the military. And we all said Trap is going to win this tournament. If any Protoss is going to win it, it's going to be Trap. He has the best shot out of anyone. But he ran into Max Angel, the Magician, Estrella. And Estrella, here in the group stage, did some of the most insane crap I have ever seen in my life. Because I kind of understood the setup from SOS, and yes, Astrea is creative, but it was still a 1 in a million. SOS never repeated that strategy with good reason. It was a 1 in a million. He kind of got lucky rolling the dice on it. There's still very little chance this should be working versus pro players. So Astrea opens up with a 1 gateway into a gas, runs in with this probe scout, says, oh, hey, buddy, you're going for a Nexus. Oh, you're going to go Nexus first? And what's so cool about this is Trap went Nexus first. So Astrea is reactively building a Nexus. I don't think he was planning to do this at all, but he went, really? Nexus first? And he said, somehow he's practiced a recall rush, a Nexus rush, and he's like, ooh, this is the situation for that. I don't know what Astrea's been doing in his practice to think of this, because it is patently ridiculous. There are many ways you can punish a Nexus rush. A Nexus first. This is the craziest way that I could ever think of. All right, let's listen to Harstem and Lambo now, as they are so confused.
In my mind, this is okay, but okay, there's a force on the way, and okay, I have no clue what's going on.
Can we start with the purpose of the Nexus? Is this for a recall? Or...
I think so, right? He's gonna recall, and I think he's going to recall 2 zealots, and he's going to recall like maybe probes to throw down cannons. I guess that's the end goal here, right? Astrea's throwing down another cannon. Now, Trap is just getting cannons himself, but I think this is looking very, very good right here for Trap. Ooh, actually...
Famous last words, Harstem. I think this is looking very good for Trap, but he admittedly has no idea what's going on and is super confused. But notice how the Zealot's blocking Astrea's cannon from getting taken down. He recalls the probes and the Zealots. He dials it up way harder than Harstem, Trap, or anyone expected. And it's both of them building cannons and fighting with probes. But because he got a few more Zealots out earlier, he's got a little bit more firepower, and his cannon started earlier. Wait, I gotta hear their reaction. I gotta hear their reaction when the recall actually happens.
I would have loved to see if Astrea also got like a cyber core or something like that, so he can throw batteries down. It's not going to be the case. Now, the first zealot of Trap is going to fall. I have no clue what's happening. I've never seen this in my life. We have a recall with probes. We have 2 zealots here. No, 3 zealots here for Astrea, and cannons are being built right now. The cannon of Trap is being taken out by the 3 zealots and the probes. There's a cannon going up right now. For Astrea, the probes are being pulled. I can't even see.
I think this is it. I think this is it. The cannons from Astrea are going up. It's 3 cannons apiece.
GG.
And Trap calls the GG. What? I think that officially means Trap is out of the tournament.
Holy crap. I've never seen this strategy before in my life. This is a completely new strat. A completely new response to Nexus first. And Astrea picks the perfect stage to show it.
This is hilarious. I love just how like surprised and confused they look at this, like as I would be as well. And unfortunately, because Trap wasn't doing that great in the group, I think he needed to win this series 2-0 and he would probably have progressed. But that game there, as they said, almost certainly eliminated Trap from the tournament. I gotta say, it stings to lose a world championship, best Protoss player in the world, big hopeful. It stings even more when you lose it to a Nexus Rush. Alright guys, well that so far is my journey with Recall Rush, from finding out that it's a thing to losing a random ladder game, to discovering Florencio from it in 2018, to then seeing SOS blow everyone's minds by pulling it off in GSL, and Astrea again using it as a counter reactively to Nexus first to knock Trap out of Katowice 2021. This is one of my favorite strategies because it seems like it's such a big investment just to be able to teleport across the map. It seems like it shouldn't work. It seems like it should be inefficient and bad. But because of that, the fact that people have found these niche situations where they can make it work, it tastes beautiful. It feels like the true unique joy of StarCraft is there to behold. And this is why I love watching guys like SOS and Astrea. Now, if you guys have any particular games that I've missed where there was a cool recall rush, obviously motherships have been used for offensive recall rushes, but specifically Nexus Rush in order to recall, please let me know if I've missed any games, and maybe I can go over those, because I feel like there's so many cool strategies that just go unnoticed in StarCraft, and I want to go and watch all of them. So I hope this showed some of you all some interesting new strategies. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and any other cool strategies that maybe I haven't come across that we could take a look at. Thanks for watching, everyone. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.